Hi, my name is Jim Garlow. I guess you know that because I've been to Grace Church in the Woodlands so many times. I love your church. I love your pastor. I love you as a congregation. We feel kind of home there. Maybe we ought to just leave San Diego and move to Houston because the weather's so much better in Houston. Never mind. That wasn't a good idea. We sure do love Houston. We love Grace Church, and it's a real honor to get to be with you February 18th. This is going to be a very different sermon. This is a sermon I've never preached on this before. I've interviewed people on this, but never actually preached it. And we're going to talk about the red heifer ceremony and the red heifers that recently have gone from Texas to Israel. Now, why would we care about red heifers? Well, you come Sunday, you're going to find out. You're going to care a lot about it. And also, we're going to talk about the land where the red heifer ceremony, which hasn't taken place in 2,000 years, where it has to take place. The miraculous story of the purchase of land for the red heifer cleansing ceremony from Numbers chapter 19. It'll be occurring in a few weeks for the first time in 2,000 years. But it has to be on special land. That land was recently purchased. A miracle. I'll tell you the story about that. And then when the red heifer ceremony takes place and then the third temple gets built, then the coming of the Messiah. That's why this is important. We care about the coming of the Messiah. And there is a miracle story that's occurred in about the last 9 months regarding resources for the building of the third temple. Now, there's one more story we're going to add on this. And what I'm wanting you to see is all the things that are coming together, Israel revealing its secrets. And we're going to talk about some artifacts from the actual birthplace of Jesus, probably about 1,000 of them, that are now in the United States and have been there for some time. And a stunning story about those artifacts. You're going to think it's like Indiana Jones. It's quite staggering. Now, the man behind all this, two men behind all this, is Byron Stinson from Texas, and a man named Saki Mamo, an Orthodox Jew from Jerusalem. It so happens that Byron Stinson, his schedule's free, and he's going to be with me in the sermon and share some of the things that I'm talking about right now. Now, 3 of the 4 things I've just covered have never been shared publicly until January the 31st, a couple weeks ago, January the 31st in Washington, D.C. at Museum of the Bible at the big national gathering for prayer and repentance. It's the first time these issues have been discussed publicly, and you'll see why they've not been discussed publicly when I tell you about them in the sermon coming this Sunday. What's this all pointing to? Well, I'm not making predictions, but the coming of the Messiah. I think it's soon as Israel reveals her secrets. There's more. We're going to talk, if we have time, we're going to talk about the Gilgals. What are those? Well, let me tell you, they're very important. We're going to talk about Joshua's altar. What's the big deal about that? Well, after 3,400 years, it's been rediscovered. It's been found. We're going to talk about Jacob's spotted sheep, if we have time. What's the big deal about that? Well, it has to do with prophecy. So we're going to be covering a number of these things. This Sunday, Grace Church, the Woodlands, that's February the 18th, and all services, I'll be there, and my good friend Byron Stinson, as a special guest, will be with me in the sermons. Do not miss this Sunday. Invite all your friends to be there. It's going to be a real eye-opener. We'll see you then.